Hello students, today we will discuss the chapter Resources and Development. In this, we will discuss about the meaning of the resource, the classification, the conservation of the resources. First, we will discuss about the meaning of the resources. Everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable, can be termed as a resource. The interdependence of the human beings on physical environment, technology, and the institutions. Human beings interact with nature by technology and create institutions to accelerate their economic development. Here you can see the human beings that are there and the three goals. Next we discuss about the classification of resources. Basically there are two kinds of resources, the natural and the human resource. The natural resources are further classified into renewable, non-renewable, and human into structures and institutions and quality and quantity. Now we classify the natural resources on the basis of origin, that is biotic and abiotic. Biotic resources are obtained from biosphere. They have life, for example, flora and fauna. Abiotic resources, they composed of non-living things that we get from nature, example rocks and metals. Then we classify the resources according to the exhaustibility, that is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. When we talk about the renewable resources, they are replenishable resources which can be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical or mechanical process. Example, solar and wind energy, water, etc. Non-renewable resources, they are formed over a substantially long geological time. Example, minerals and fossil fuels. Now we classify the resources on the basis of ownership. The classifications are four. Here I have just given two of them. First, that is the individual resources and the community resources. When we talk about the individual resources, they are owned and maintained by the individuals. For example, the land owned by the farmers, plantations, pasture lands, ponds, etc. Community resources, they are the resources accessible to all the members of a community. Example, public parks, picnic spots, playgrounds, etc. Then the national resources. They are the resources that belong to a nation. Example, roads, minerals, land within the political boundaries, territorial water, and the resources. The term territorial water refers to the oceanic area up to 12 nautical miles. Then we come to the international resources under the classification of ownership. They are regulated by certain international institutions. These include the oceanic resources beyond 200 km of the exclusive economic zone, as it is called as EEZ, which belong to the open ocean, and no individual country can utilize these without the concurrence of international institutions like UN. Then we classify the resources on the basis of status or development. There are also four types: potential, developed, stock, and reserve, which is a subset of stock. First, we discuss about the potential resources. They are found in a region which have not been utilized. Example: wind and solar energy development potential in the states of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Developed resources, those are resources that have been surveyed and determined for utilization both qualitatively and quantitatively. Then we discuss about the stock and the subset of stock, that is the reserve. Stock refers to the materials in the environment which have the potential to satisfy the human beings, but the human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access these. For example, water is a compound of two inflammable gases, hydrogen and oxygen, which could be used as a rich source of energy if we had the required technical know how. Then comes the reserves. They are the subset of the stock which are yet to be put into use with the help of existing technical know how. These can be used for meeting the requirements of the future. There are some problems due to indiscriminate mining or indiscriminate use of the resources. The first one, many resources get depleted, example forest, etc. Second, resources get accumulated in the hands of few people and the society is divided into rich and poor. Third, many kind of environmental problems are there like global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental degradation, etc. Now we discuss about the sustainable development. The development which does not damage the environment at the same time takes care of the needs of the future generations is called as a sustainable development. The idea of it first came in 1968 at the Club of Rome. Then came a book known as Small is Beautiful, written by E.F. Schumacher in 1974, in which he had given the idea for the conservation of resources. Then came a person that was called as Gro Harlem Brundtland, according to which a commission came up in 1987 known as the Brundtland Commission. The report of it was mentioned in the book A Common Future, where for the first time the concept of global sustainable development came up. Then came the Earth Summit in 1992 at Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, where it was attended by 100 states and all of them agreed to follow Agenda 21, means 21 points on the conservation of the resources. Then comes the concept of resource planning. The meaning: resource planning is a technique or skill of proper utilization of the resources. There are some stages of it. The first one, identification and listing of resources. Second, planning for exploitation of resources or reaching that resources. Third, match the resource development plans with national development plans. What is the importance of the resource planning? The first point, some regions of India are rich in certain resources and poor in other resources. Second, some regions are self-sufficient while other regions are very poor in important resources. Third, wastage of resources can be avoided by planning. Fourth, environmental pollution can be reduced. And fifth, our exploitation of resources can be avoided. Then comes the conservation of the resources. Planned use of resources in order to meet the present needs and to store a part for the future generation is called as resource conservation. It is necessary because, first point, many resources are non-renewable and exhaustible. Second, conservation of resources help us to reduce wastage. And third, resource conservation helps us to protect the environment. Then came a very important person, Gandhiji. He had given his idea on resource conservation. According to Gandhiji, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. Greedy and selfish individuals and the exploitative nature of modern technology are the root cause of resource depletion. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it with the production by masses. Thank you all.